Mercy is for the weak. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on. No choice but to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
And Dave Dameshek.
Sweep the leg, Evan McPherson and Matt Gay. You're in the Super Bowl.
I have thoughts about the Super Bowl, about SoFi, and specifically about Dave Dameshek.
Oh.
And his terrible towels.
Oh.
Because first off, the Steelers were culturally appropriated by everyone else.
Don't think I missed out on that, friend.
Yes, and I brought my Rams terrible towel in, which, by the way, is yellow, just like the terrible towel is. It says champs on it, and it's got the date, and it was given out. So thoughts, first thing, thoughts. I mean, I brought it up, but I'm interested in Shek's thoughts. I took my son and his 15-year-old friend, and as we walked into SoFi Stadium to watch him play the Cardinals 3 weeks ago, the towels were handed out to everyone who entered for free. Hard pass by my son and his friend.
What?
Hard pass.
Why?
Why? Because of their childhood versus our childhood.
It's free, and they're just
Exactly.
giving it to you.
But everything's free. Though that's the whole thing. They have a phone with an app, and everything is free, except for I pay for everything, but everything is free in the world. But I mean, you go, you think, all right, let's just look. It hardly seems like anything, but really, let's just really think about the symbolism of us in our teen years walking into the home stadium where they were handing out. By the way, if they handed out spent tampons when I was 14, I would have been like, yeah, could I get two?
You get back in line like Groucho.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's free. But it's not. It not only is it the towel, but it commemorates where you were that day, whatever it is. Hard pass. Stopped them both. I said, hey, listen, maybe you didn't notice the guy there with the big stack of towels. I got one. Then go get one. We're 9 feet away from the guy. They're like, we're good. That says it all. That's all. That's the difference.
I can't wrap my head around
childhood versus your childhood, his childhood.
I know that
That's all it is.
We've had the conversation about things that make people go like, when you tell a big story and you go like, huh, yeah, I guess I get it, and then move on. I sincerely think that is a humongous event, a humongous statement based on something very apparently small. I completely agree with you. You turn down something free? You're at a big-time sports event, a playoff game? Exactly. I don't care how old you are. You recognize, boy, I am lucky to be in this spot right now. You take something that allows you to commemorate it.
I'm, by the way, just the guy who goes, well, this is free.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go home and put it in a lucite case, but it shall live in my car. And if I spill coffee all over my lap going over a speed bump or something, at least I have this rag.
I do put it in a lucite case.
I know.
I actually do, but okay.
So there was that. The terrible towel. Where are we? Look, Shek, I think I know where you are, but it could be considered an homage. You know what I mean? There's ways
I don't care for it.
I get it. I'll hearken back to the great Chrissy Hines from The Pretenders. And I was actually on Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show the other day, who we know Clay from the sports world, who took over for Rush Limbaugh. Mm-hmm. And I said to Chrissy when she was on my terrestrial radio show many years ago, she's a progressive, new age rock and roll chick.
I buy it.
So the theme song for Rush Limbaugh was Going to Ohio or whatever. It's a Pretender song. Dun, 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 dun.
My city was gone.
My city is gone. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
She wear that?
Not one of my favorites from the Pretenders, but okay. And I said, as a progressive person and Rush Limbaugh, using your theme. And it struck me when I heard it, they still use it as a tip of the cap to Rush when I was doing the show. That's the music that was leading me in my segment. And I said to Chrissy, what do you think of that? And she went, it's fine. More spins for us.
That's right.
No thoughts. And I thought, Why aren't there more of those people?
I was just going to say that lines up with your worldview.
That's my worldview. So now you could apply that to the terrible towel.
I don't. Screw!
I know.
Myron Kove didn't say anything about anybody else. What he said was
the
famous.
Great announcer for the
Of course,
Steelers.
everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. We have some
you have
younger
to-
people listening.
Gina Grad was just telling me about how she loved Cope's call on the Immaculate.
I wanted to pipe down, but obviously I knew that.
Yes.
Cope, of course, yes. The legend on the banks of the Three Rivers and beyond. He once said, because he invented the terrible towel, you see, and with a nail burning betwixt his fingers in advance of a big-time playoff game, and as Adam Carolla just wipes his nose.
Well, I got a little runny nose,
God,
I mean,
Dave,
you can do that with the Rams rag.
Right.
You do that with the terrible towel.
Right.
Now, there's a whole nother can of worms you've just opened
Right.
for yourself. Now,
Or whoop ass.
Cope holds up the terrible towel, and he says, the terrible towel is poised to strike, and so are the Steelers. Let's get him! He didn't say a goddamn thing about the Rams or anyone else. Come up with your own shtick.
I concur.
Why is it called the terrible towel?
I got asked Myron's widow.
Cope passed. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not his widow.
No, but
I wish
I mean, you got
if I could trade places with anyone.
Would that you were?
You got alliteration working
sure.
for you, and as I've learned from Meat is Murder or No Nukes,
Right.
we're really just about starting
Terrible
words with
towel.
the same letter.
Yeah.
Do we have any Myron Culp? How do you
Yoy
say
and
his
double
last name?
yoy. Yoy and double yoy. That's what Cope says. Look at Jack Splat there. Look at him right there. Look, Ted Bradshaw. Look at that boy. He just heard of Rocky. Rocky got that when he went up to the sky to grab that one. Oh, Cope is the best. The greatest thing that people intend as an insult. Pittsburgh Steelers players have tried time and again, in fact, they think they're taking a shot at me. They're like, man, you sound a lot like Myron Cope. And to that I say, thank you. It's the greatest compliment anyone could ever give me. Thank you.
He passed. It's been a while, right?
Probably a decade ago. Yeah, since he left us.
Yeah, and he was there during all the glory years of the Steelers.
Right, including against your Rams, who are now back in the Super Bowl, and they didn't technically have a home game in the Rose Bowl back in Super Bowl 14, January of 1980. We've talked about that. The Rams wore their white jerseys, even though they were, not in their home stadium, but in their hometown.
White used to be the road thing. Now it's kind of all over the place.
Well, I think the Rams would prefer to wear their home blues,
Right.
but of course it's the AFC's turn to choose, and the Bengals take the first shot at Super Bowl 56 by saying, screw you, Rams, we're wearing the black jerseys. We're the home team.
And they're in the other locker room, right?
I think the Rams get to keep their locker
Oh,
room.
that's mighty
Although that
nice.
would be way better if the Bengals were like, no, we're the home team.
Yeah.
Screw, get in the other one.
Well, there are always these stories that we haven't. Oh, we'll play Myron Culp here, but remember the stories about the opposition's locker room, like not turning the heat on, having cold water. Like there's these legendary stories of
Boston Garden. I think that's well known that the Celtics love to do that to the Lakers, that they would have it really hot in there. And Houston Astrodome, the visitors' locker room was roach infested. Yeah, there's some of those fun stories.
That's cheating. You can't.
No,
If you did it on the
that's
field,
fun.
that'd be
they
cheating.
lowered the door jams. All right,
I love it.
let's hear the great Myron Culp.
And they shed that guy like he was a Tennessee fly. Well, he jumped so high, he was at the top deck of the stadium. That play, if you'd have clocked it, you would have figured that it was a milk wagon horse running a mile or something. It took so long. Tiger hit him. His teeth are in the third row.
Oh my God. They're all right. They're right. That's him.
He will be missed.
You're the reincarnation.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right.
again.
Well, speaking of the Rams, I was listening to the news station out here, which used to be our old station. I say our, I mean all of our 97.1 was the station we were all on.
KLSX, the FM talker.
And it's now just news.
It's
old school
KNX.
news station. And I was listening to that on the ride home yesterday. And I heard Russ Simons, I believe it's pronounced. He's the senior VP for facility operations over at SoFi. And, of course, he's doing his press conference about the regulations inside SoFi with an emphasis on masks. Of course, I don't think he's wearing a mask during the presentation. I don't know, this notion of everyone wears a mask, then they get to the podium, then they take the mask off, then they bloviate, then they go silent, put the mask back on, and stand behind the podium.
It's part of the costume.
Doesn't feel like science to me, but let's hear what this dickwad has to say. And it's really what he says at the end. Oh, yeah, where's your mask, douche? Number one. But here we go.
Protocols include a mandatory mask requirement in the stadium for everyone 2 years of older, regardless
2 years.
of their vaccination status.
2 years.
Required to wear a face
Good
covering
luck.
in the stadium and the tailgate areas.
Hold on. All right. Tailgate. I don't know how you tailgate with a mask, but all right, you got to do it outdoors. It's an outdoor stadium. It's got a roof on it, but it's outdoors. A 2-year-old, by the way. I don't know. Shek, what's the going rate for a ticket? $8,000?
I mean, the ticket prices that I've seen are insane. But yes, that's about right.
Parking's $500.
Right.
Tickets $10,000. And you want to bring your kid, and this douchebag's going to tell you to put the fucking mask on. By the way, as I've said, on the Jumbotron on third down, it will say make some noise. And then everyone will scream at the top of their lungs. Everybody. All 72,000 people will scream, spittle as loud as they can because it's 3rd and 7, and the Rams defense is out on the field. So that's the kind of science we have working here. But let's listen to what this old douche says at the end, how he punctuates this.
Required to wear a face covering in the stadium and the tailgate areas, except while actively eating and drinking. And that doesn't mean buy a bucket of popcorn and eat it for 2 hours. Actively eating and drinking. We are on to you.
You're on. Don't sell popcorn, you old fuck, if you're on to people. Number one, They hand out popcorn. They sell popcorn that comes in a pillowcase. I mean, they literally, everyone is so goddamn fat. It's a metric ton of popcorn they come down with. I don't know if you have any of that, Chris. Also, shut the fuck up, old man. We no longer have to listen to you and your fucking insanity. And I don't know, how does popcorn work? Does popcorn work where you get a big sack of popcorn and then you bust a hole in the bottom of it and shotgun it? Or do you slowly sit there and eat it throughout the course of the game? Like, here's the deal, Russ. Ugh. First off, shut up. Secondly, the opposing team, if this thing was played in Bengal Stadium, no mask mandate. What is so different? What's in the terra firma here in Los Angeles and California that makes it so different than every college stadium throughout the nation, Florida, Texas, just about every other NFL stadium where people go and then don't have to be fucking harassed by bureaucrats? What is so different? What is going on? Is there a strain of COVID that we have here that is different than all the other places where people don't have to be harassed when they go to a game? Fuck you. No one should do it. Go ahead.
I know this is your cause. To me, the concern should be around SoFi. Legitimately, it's troubling. You see fight videos between fans, and everything. Another person at SoFi is now in a coma.
Really? From
the NFC title game? What the hell? Why? I mean, maybe I'm sure people can provide anecdotes that disprove what I'm saying, but man, oh man, let's get it together, Angelinos.
Well,
let's focus in on people kicking other human beings in the head and putting them into comas. This is an ugly, ongoing trend. Let's worry about this.
Russ should worry more about fans being put in comas than 2-year-olds masking up. We're on to you. That's the part I like. We're on to you. You're on to whom? Fucking bureaucrat. Yeah. You're on to who? On to people that pay $10,000 for a ticket, want to enjoy the Super Bowl. You're on to us. This fucking non-science of eating and pulling it down.
Here's how we'll get around the mask requirement, Timmy. We're going to get a big thing of popcorn, and then we'll take our mask off. And then if anybody asks us about it, like, we're eating popcorn.
And by the way,
that's a big scam.
Who are you on to? You would have to watch everyone. What are those popcorn sizes?
They don't have the size.
It looks like a wind sock.
It's a wind sock filled with popcorn. You're gonna have to monitor everyone who orders popcorn and then put a stopwatch on them and see how long. Shut the fuck up, Russ Simons. Jesus goddamn Christ, you're on to us.
And like
Fuck
you said, at least be a little more intellectually honest. Don't sell popcorn, but God forbid they don't make that money.
Right. Just don't sell popcorn. You're handing out, everyone there's got a beer, everyone's got a dog, everyone's got popcorn, everyone's got peanuts, and the mask shall be off. So what with the theater? And then you go, well, all right, well, he's just doing his job or whatever. But that's my whole point. What's with the fucking theater? Knock it off. Move on. Turn the fucking page. Lockdowns don't work. We just had a big fat study about it. Masks barely work, and they certainly don't work when you're pulling it down every 20 seconds. And the Jumbotron says make some noise. I had this clip. I just sit around at night and I think about who's that crazy bitch out of, oh God, with Long Island? Where was that?
Oh, Nassau County.
Nassau County. Remember this?
Laura Curran's her name.
Yes. Remember this press conference from 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. Remember this one?
Singles only, no doubles.
All right, hold
Tennis.
on. She's explaining how to play tennis to people safely with COVID. Okay. Singles only, no doubles. No doubles. Okay.
Singles only, no doubles.
Right.
Only every other court. You have to have a court between players.
Yeah, you need 70 feet.
Sets of people
All right,
playing.
pause. You need no court. You can't get exercise and vitamin D.
Yeah.
The fucking thing that would have been very beneficial. You're
air.
shutting that down. You need an open court. All right. What should we do if we encounter a stray tennis ball? Let's figure that one out.
Every player, unless they're from the same household, has to bring their own tennis balls so that you don't touch other people's tennis balls.
Science. All right. Oh, wait, keep going. That's great.
With your hands. You can kick their balls, but you can't touch them. I'm going to blush, sorry.
Hold for applause.
Of course, if you're playing with someone in your household, you can touch those tennis balls. To avoid confusion between whose balls are whose, you can use a marker, like a Sharpie, to mark out, to put an X or put someone's initials on them.
All right, Laura Curran. Look, here's everyone goes, all right, she's a nutty dingbat, this dumb chick thing. We put them in charge. Fine. They're going to fuck the shit out of all of us with their fucking retarded gypsy, weird witchcraft rules, their magical rules. Fine. But she's not just in charge of tennis. She's in charge of schools and airports and roads.
Oh, I thought she was just in charge of the rec center.
She's going to take this crazy dingbat thought there. Well, whoever's running Los Angeles, they're going to take their dumb gypsy witchcraft dingbat thinking, and they're going to go into the homeless. They're going to solve the same brain who can't figure out the masking up between bites is retarded logic is going to take their same 10-cent head and they're bringing it into the homeless situation or schools or test scores or roads or traffic. See, it's not just the 10-cent head as it pertains to COVID. It's that fucking mind loose on all the other problems that plague our society. That's why I'm screaming.
I get it. I'm wondering if one of two things is happening with SoFi. Either Barbara Ferrer and, they're all leaning on him, or they are worried people are getting litigious. Class action suit. I got COVID at the game. So this is theater that they are aware of.
You buy a ticket, it says something on it that says, like, you can't sue them if you get a bad hot dog.
You and I, Ace, are not obviously.
Oh, and by the way,
all lined up.
Should we put on a cacophony of pictures of Garcetti and Newsom at SoFi Stadium without a mask?
I got it for the news, and his response is the best thing I've ever seen.
Russ, you can't control the fucking mayor, the biggest pussy mayor in the country, or the fucking biggest pussy governor in the country. You can't control them and their fucking mask. You're going to control the 2-year-olds?
Well, what it is to me, where this goes to me is, Ace, in your worldview that I agree with so much is, it's the lowest common denominator effect of punishing. It's the one you always said was one jackass threw a glass beer bottle onto a field, and for now the last quarter century we have to drink out of the less satisfying plastic beer bottles.
Right.
It's because the lowest common denominator, we have to do what is the most safe thing because people won't abide by our rules otherwise. And so that's what I'm with you largely.
Yeah, except for the most safe thing is out the window the second they tell you can pull your mask down.
But I hear
eat.
you that's what they're inclined to do is to do like now plastic for everybody because of one.
They're just want control. It's just control. Give it up. There's a whole fucking study out of Johns Hopkins. It's lockdowns didn't work. None of your shit worked. Okay, good. Admit you're wrong. And fucking there's a fence around Tin Horn Flats 2 miles from here. They've stopped their business for outdoor dining. They defied them. They're non-science for outdoor dining. Everyone should defy these fucking people. This is the problem. This is what I'm talking about.
But you know them. Did that totally put them? I mean, that put them out of business.
Yes, their family-run business for 50 years has a fence around it that the city of Burbank blocked them off. They shut them down because of their non-science.
So who's going to defy these people? They ran them into the ground.
I agree. Listen, I've said this a million times. I say this to Dr. Drew every time I say this. Everybody defy them, and they can't do anything. Tin Horn Flats defies them. They're shut down. Every restaurant, every salon, every club, every gym. Remember, they're going nuts on gyms. Just all defy them, and they can't pick us all off. You go, one, Tin Horn Flats, shut down. Everyone stays open. What are they going to do? Put a fence around every business in Burbank? Or
They're
whatever?
not going to work OT, so.
Yes. All right. God, fucking idiots. It's everyone's fault but mine. I'm
waiting for the mass tidal wave of apologies coming your way.
18 months. Pull up that fucking rap. The rap article. 18 months. I sent a tweet out calling everyone pussies and telling them they got played.
The wonderful bit of irony that I just figured out today is that everyone who is clamoring for mask mandates right now and telling you to comply, 90% of them had the words resist in their Twitter bio 2 years ago.
Yes. Resist,
Cowards.
comply. I agree. It's the 18-month anniversary of me trending on Twitter because I called all you guys cowards. No, sorry. I called you pussies. But you didn't resist. You complied like pussies, and then you got fucking crate trained, and your kids got freaked out. That's what we did. Oh, God. So I say to Drew all the time, he goes, whose fault is this? I go, everyone but me. Turns out the people dying of COVID are old or sick or both.
I don't want to argue with you.
Go ahead.
I don't want to argue with you.
They're old or sick or both.
But who knew that 2 years ago?
I did.
But all right.
What, a virologist? I knew it.
All right, it was a
the
good
information
guess.
was out there.
All right, you made a good guess.
It wasn't a guess. Turns out people are dying of COVID or old or sick or both. How many pussies got played and who's getting played next time? And then a cavalcade of A-list celebrities came out against me, the likes of Valerie Bertinelli, Christopher Titus, all the fucking titans of show business all poo-pooed me.
They're just starting to release some of the information that they had in the early days of COVID. New York State, one of the biggest ones, that in the first year, 6 months, whatever, 90% of those who died above the age of 65 with comorbidities. They knew this.
I know they knew it. That's how I knew it. I knew it. All right. Then the Wrap came out with an article that was like, oh, Carolla trending on. First off, you want to take that tweet down, Carolla? Fuck no. I do not, because I knew I would be vindicated, number one. Number two, you want to use harsh language? Yes, I do. You guys are pussies. You went in. You made it all possible. We could have pushed back, could have kept the schools open, could have kept business open, but all the pussy sheep went along. Sorry if some may be in the room, but that's my... I happen to be right. And then when the Wrap gave me a chance to apologize or printed the article about what I had to say about this, let's see if I walked it back or not. Max Zapata can find that. Oh, just the headline. That'll be good.
I bet you're groveling.
Oh, yeah.
Sniveling.
Gotta walk it back.
The headline is Adam Carolla vows, quote, "I'm not effing apologizing to any of you assholes," end quote, over COVID take.
That's right.
It's
all right.
in the headline.
There we go. Year and a half ago, everybody. All right,
they
pussies.
They had to say effing, but they can say assholes.
That's great.
Guess. Who's getting played next? That's what. Who's getting it next time?
I don't think we needed to sacrifice old people and fat people, though.
No, they stay home.
Oh, they are? Okay.
They're in danger. They stay home, and we live our lives.
Yeah, the take from the beginning was if you're in danger, then you quarantine, not the people who are not in danger. And I know we're not in danger, even though we're being told we're in danger.
Kids aren't in danger. Schools shouldn't have never been shut down. But
old Brian's not in danger.
He isn't? I don't know.
He's coming back to work.
I know, but he's had it.
Yeah.
All right. He survived.
Survived. Yeah,
Everyone survived.
Thank
right.
God.
But scare the kids.
Well, we didn't know how it was
moms.
going to impact everybody. We didn't know how.
We
there
did.
were people who randomly
wait till we see the papers they're now going to be subpoenaed. They're all going to come out. They knew. And by the way, then what are we listening to them for? They don't know how infectious diseases work. They knew. You'll see it. It'll come out. It'll all come out, and you'll see it.
Is it actively being subpoenaed?
Yeah, there's a lot of FOIA requests and stuff like that. They're going to find out that these people were communicating, and they knew it. They look, when the Great Barrington Declaration came out, these are a bunch of virologists and scientists and doctors that went locking down is no good. You're going to hurt society. There's going to be addiction and suicide. Doesn't work. We need to look after the old people and the vulnerable people. And there's emails going around with Fauci and company going, hey, man, we got to shut these guys down. They're giving us information that competes with our information, and we want everything shut down. It's going to come out. It is out. So that's what it'll be. And it's fine as long as everyone learns a fucking lesson. That's all. Got to push back.
I have to push back on this bit. Not on what you're talking about specific, but semi-related, I think. I think part of your concern with this, but the Fauci of the world is like, I'm telling you this is important, and other people say like, not important to me. And this is if I can try and connect these two, maybe it's too tangential, but Tom Nichols, who is a conservative voice, political mind, he's connected with you and me, Ace, on social media and beyond about our mutual hatred of bare feet on airplanes. So we know he's a rational thinker in many ways. He put out a tweet that got under my skin the other day. He said something to the effect of when Tom Brady retired, that he's raw. He's like, I know this sounds churlish, but I can't stand it. All these grown-ups know every detail of Tom Brady and football and all this stuff, and they couldn't tell you some basic things about how our government works. And to me, this is classic 21st century narcissism. To decree that, but I don't care about that football, so therefore then no one should care about it. Do you see? I think this is the issue, is that because we pound the table, you do it every day, Fauci pounds the table, Tom Nichols, I don't care about sports. Why are you talking about them when I think something is more important than them? This is what has landed us in the year of the Lord 2022. Yeah, is this idea like Tom Nichols, Star Wars? I just want to insert myself into the conversation to let everybody know as you swoon over the latest Star Wars and whether it's good or not. Like, I just have to let you all know I don't really care. I don't really have any strong opinion about it. It's like, shut up. What are you weighing in on these conversations? Well, you see, everything's not as important.
Tom Nichols is not setting policy. Fauci is setting policy. That's the difference. You can have any opinion you want. If you're in charge of policy, I'd like it to be the correct opinion. You can find, I don't know, there's some emails or text or something with Fauci and the Barrington Declaration of basically, we got problem makers here.
Well, I don't understand this because I remember right at the very beginning when Dr. Drew came in here, and this is how little anyone knew of Fauci. He's like, listen to Dr. Fauci, because even he knew he was the only one in the room who knew who he was. Listen to him. He knows what he's doing. He, spearheaded all this stuff with AIDS. Like, he's a good guy. He's a rational guy. So what's in it for him to fuck around? I feel so naive.
He's not fucking around. He got compromised. He took a side. He just took a side. The second he was getting questioned in Congress, and they were like churches, outdoor activities. He was like any group, no activities, no large mass group activities. And then someone said, what about a Black Lives Matter rally? He's like, I don't have any thoughts. And I was like, okay, well, then we're done listening to you, as I said a year and a half ago when he said that, because you should have thoughts. The thought should be, well, if it's a group, then as a virologist, no.
Right.
I'm going to be consistent. But he carved out. Right. And that meant he took a side, and that's whatever he says is I'm going to have a raised eyebrow.
No, I get
and
it.
I think it is right that it's lowest common denominator. It's like we must become absolutist about this because if we allow for any wiggle room, people will take it. And
he
so
allowed
now
for wiggle room.
Remain shut down no matter what period because
but not Black Lives Matter.
I reported.
That was not a complete shutdown.
I reported for 1 year.
That's all the wiggle room you want.
That's right. I reported for 1 year when they had this thing coming out. Don't call it a pandemic. It's called coronavirus. Then right into George Floyd. Then right into the LA riots. Then right into fire season. So I was like engrossed in this every day. And that was the whole thing. Lockdown, 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 unless you are taking to the streets downtown to set cars on fire. And it was a very confusing message.
Yeah. Not confusing to me. I just realized that whoever's giving the message they've been compromised in their thoughts. All right, let's see. Rams,
but not malicious though. We agree on that? That Fauci didn't have some master plan to do harm to people.
No, but neither does a drunk driver who runs over.
I know, but when people take it to the next level, this was some scheme.
No, he had a master plan to stay in the spotlight and keep the people that supported him supporting him. I'm not getting inside the guy's mind. I don't think, but he was compromised. Well, I don't know. If you look at some of those emails or the Barrington, those guys in the Barrington Declaration, these are, virologists and scientists and doctors who pretty much had their careers destroyed for taking an opinion opposite of Fauci. Fauci could have won, those guys are pretty respectable. They make some pretty valid points. No reason to cancel them, but he did not do that because they competed with him.
I remember when Fauci said a couple years ago, he said, the coronavirus is poised to strike. It's so hard to steal it.
All right. I don't know. You can see if you can find any of that info, Maxipata.
Yeah.
We got Martin Kove coming in. I got many other thoughts. Because
Pain does not exist in this dojo.
We'll play some, because Terry Silver's back. And he's my all-time favorite from all of the Karate Kids movies put together. First, there's Simply Safe. Today's episode is brought to you by Simply Safe Home Security. Ever wanted to know what's happening at your home? Well, the new wireless outdoor camera from Simply Safe lets you know what's happening outside right from your phone. See that dicey guy dropping off the food, stealing your mail, or I can find out what my dog's up to, running around the backyard there, hassling people. Porch pirates. It's all figured out with Simply Safe. Everything to keep your home safe. Entry and motion sensors, indoor and outdoor cameras, 24/7, I should say, professional monitoring. Ready to dispatch police, firefighters, and EMTs. Less than $1 a day. No long-term contracts or commitments. And it sets up in about 30 minutes. You do it yourself. Customize your home and get the perfect system for your home. Just a few minutes. Go to simplysafe.com/Adam. Get your free indoor security camera, plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, we'll take a break. Much more with Shek and then Kove coming up all after this.
It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Hey, Adam, I've got 2 great football names for you. They're twin brothers from LSU. One's a defensive back, one is a cornerback. They are the Conduct brothers, lewd and lascivious. Expect them to be top draft picks in this upcoming draft.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
I don't think we've been able to beat the shutdown corner out of Texas Tech, Glendora Bevmo.
That's the best one.
I don't think we've been able to. So far, that's the leader in the clubhouse. Feral Cats, the run-stopping nose guard, is good, but
I hadn't heard that one. That's a good one.
All right, Kove is going to join us. We got. I'm very. I like. I like watching commercials, and I like focusing on the ladies, because in commercials, ladies really care. They care about things, and they react to things.
Propositions.
In my personal life, I haven't noticed how much. Now, I love the Safe Light commercial because of how devastated the woman is by the cracked windshield. It's like, I've never. Most women I know will drive. They'll circumnavigate the earth 3 times with a crack in their windshield before they pull over.
Stop hassling me about it. It's fine.
In the Safe Light commercial, they're camping.
Yeah.
And they get back to the truck and it's got a ding and they're like, pack it up.
Trips over.
We got to go get this. We got to go to Safe Light. We got to take care of this. Like, but Mom, we're going kayaking tomorrow. Sorry.
That's what you thought.
Pack it all up. We got to get this taken care of. The car's parked. Could be parked there for several days.
Yeah.
But no. Cut the trip short. Or that the 2 girlfriends that are on the road trip and they get but we can see she's devastated. The woman. We'll show you that. But I found a woman who's equally and overly delighted.
Oh.
It's the bath fitter commercial.
Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, the Safe Light, we can show her being devastated. Sorry.
Every customer has their own Safe Light story. This couple loves camping adventures, and their SUV is always there with them. So when their windshield got a chip, they wanted it fixed fast.
Devastated. But not only that, could she even see the crack from where she was? It looked like every time they came home from a hike, she's like, what's going on with this windshield?
Right.
What's going on?
I didn't care for the accusatory stare she threw at her lover.
Yeah, did you?
What the hell? How'd
What do
this
you know
get here?
about this?
I know I didn't do it.
Yeah. Windshield was fine when we parked. It's just me and you on Mount Pinos. So I don't know that crack. Maybe a squirrel dropped a nut. I don't think so. You've been mussing around with gravel, haven't you, Tim?
Try again.
So she's devastated, which I've never really seen in the wild. My relationship with women is, Hunt, you got a crack in your window. Yeah, I know. I saw it.
Get over it.
Then smash cut to 4 months later. The crack in the, yeah, you told me. That's more my relationship with the ladies. But another relationship I've never had is the couple that's going to get their bathroom outfitted with bath fitter.
Okay.
Now, bath fitter is, what they do is, it's very expensive to remodel a bathroom. You're busting out the tile, the tub, you could imagine. And what people should know is behind the tile in the shower stall, the bathtub, whatever, it's usually floated with mortar. So, I mean, it's not like stuck to drywall. So it's a big, messy job. So what these guys do is they slap on the veneer. They basically put a condom on your tub.
Got it.
And your
It's
wall.
like it's the same thing as that chocolate syrup that turns into a shell.
Magic shell.
That's right.
Magic shell.
Yeah. This
For your
comes in
bathtub.
panels, but yes. So but this is the couple.
Chocolate tiles.
They're
Decided to go with bath fitter after doing a lot of research.
Yeah, we loved how they could install a new tub right over the old one
Always
without tearing
polishing.
our bathroom apart.
Yeah, what we didn't expect was to be blown away
Oh my
by the
God.
quality. And that's what happened.
She won the
Showed up in the
lottery?
morning, and
They
by the end of
changed.
the day, we
She's
had
over the moon.
absolutely
All right. First off, your bathroom got 3/32 of an inch smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Normally, when you remod, you make a little room.
Right.
But this technically makes the tub a little smaller.
Yeah.
Makes the shower stall a little smaller because you put that skin on
Yeah.
there. Probably not a big deal, but technically, the room got a little smaller. I don't have to declare it when you're selling the house with the square footage or not. I'm not a realtor. Okay. But she's over the moon about the same bathroom, which is essentially a different color. They just put fake Marlite tile up on the back wall. There used to be green tile there. Now there's fake 3/16 thick white tile that's not real tile.
Right.
Look at that face.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just being fair and balanced here.
The people who found the empty cave that Jesus escaped from
did not.
Their jaws dropped less than hers has dropped over this.
Yes.
This miracle.
I've never met either one of these women. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I would like to. The one woman,
sisters,
we'll put it up at AdamCarolla.com. One is devastated, and the other is over the moon. And I'm now going to lump them in with my pantheon of women I've never met, with the Mount Rushmore of women I've never met is the good-looking woman sitting at the breakfast table, hair in a bun. Husband walks into breakfast nook. She's feverishly going over Prop 182 and wants to know if he's read the fine print.
Right.
Never met her.
Yeah.
I've not met either one of these women or the one that's combing over the legalese of Prop 182 and wants to know if the husband is equally as informed.
All of these women, a case could be made that for each of them, all of their disorders are in like the DSM-5. Like she's a people pleaser because she's not that excited about a fucking bathroom.
I would much rather camp, ironically, with the bathroom lady.
Yes.
It was over the moon
Yeah.
about this bath.
You're right. Drive across the country debate for you there, Ace. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going with the one that's over the moon.
You'd have to. The Proposition 1 has clear OCD. And this one, she's just a black hole of sadness. She can't be pleased.
No, there's no filling her bucket.
No.
This junior double cheeseburger only costs 99 cents? What? See the joy you could deliver to her.
It could get old, but yeah, you're right.
No, I'm supporting.
Okay.
I don't want to deal
right.
with a pain in the ass. Every bad thing is going to be my fault. I got to take the stink eye if something happens while we're out on the roads.
Yes. Yeah.
It's my fault.
And that's just a little crack in the windshield. Shit can go real off if there's like a little lipstick on your collar because somebody bumped into you. She'll kill you.
True.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with, have we reviewed on this program I think it's Humera ad, the one where the lady, she's got the bad bowels. She's the lead singer of a 90s band, even though it's 2022.
Right.
But they all dress like they're in a 90s band. And it starts out, they're in the recording studio, but they can't record without their lead singer. She's in the bathroom once again. And they're all very, they're all concerned about her. But the other woman in the band is pissed off about it.
Is she?
She's tired.
Now, is this the one with the Asian lead guitar player who's
That's
concerned?
the one, and he is the love interest.
I like to pick out all the ethnicities of the band.
I'm not surprised to hear that you're aware of this.
I'm very
of this
aware.
ad. He, the Asian guitar player, happens to be in love. You watch him. He's concerned. I'm worried about her. The band. Yeah, okay, we cut that indie record. We're hoping for a major label. But you know what? I'm worried about Sally, the human being, because I love her. Because even without the music, she fills my heart with song. And now, if we have it queued up, go ahead. Take a look. Here they are in the record. Look, bad belly.
Asian guy. Maybe he's playing bass.
Look, she's
moderate
pissed.
to severe Crohn's disease.
Again, everybody else.
Don't give her a bagel.
Not always where I needed to be.
Here we go.
I hope
Black
so. So I
drummer,
talked to my
Asian.
doctor about Humira.
What the hell
I
again?
learned
She's
Humira
out
is for people
again?
who still
Coming
have
up.
symptoms of
Oh, here she
Crohn's
comes,
disease after trying other medications.
Oh, look
And
who
the
decided to
majority
show up.
Yeah, you're right.
significant
The other
symptoms,
chick thinks
and
she
many
should
achieve
be
remission
singing
as little
lead.
as 4 weeks.
She's like, you guys, I could do it. Let's just start.
The bass player's like, now we can rock. Because we got our linchpin, our lady, my love. Now they get on the bus. They're a hard-working band. There's no doubt about that.
Right.
Now they got to go to their, they finished the matinee festival gig. Here they go.
Sold out at the
show.
Will Turn.
All right. This is a big night for them.
Setting up. We're all set. I've got my leather on. I'm the lead singer after all.
And then ask your gastroenterologist about
And now
Humira.
she's the belle of the ball. She's the one. Oh, no, you go to the front of the crowd. I'm with the other woman. I'd be pissed off. You're holding us back, lady. We're going to replace somebody who doesn't always have a nervous belly when it's time to play.
I agree.
There's another Humira commercial where they're, I believe it's a lesbian couple, an interracial lesbian couple who hosts a podcast together.
Yes, I've seen that one in the garage.
So they
We've
host a
gone
podcast
over
and-
that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they're not even talking into their microphones.
Yeah.
And there's no time crunch.
I never thought
take a shit if you have to.
You know,
it's called on-demand listening.
I spent the first half of my career watching scenes on construction sites portrayed in sitcoms and went, fake. Come on. Where's your fucking king studs? You got no trimmer. Come on. You head it out with the 2x4? You don't need a fucking 2x4. You're not using treated bottom plate material. Whatever. Now I got to do it with podcasts.
White collar Carolla.
That's not how you do a podcast. No. Mic's not even plugged in.
Yeah. At the very least, face the mic.
Where are your cans, ladies?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Did you find that Fauci article? I don't know. Dawson's look for it. I have
yes.
We have our football cards here for Shek, by the way.
Football cards?
Yeah, somebody.
Ace, how did you feel about some of our friends who are probably... I didn't know you had actual cards to Vigor as lover.
Right.
Librarian Booker.
All right, here's a headline. Quote, there needs to be...
Hold on, legs akimbo. Nadir Zenith, he's a kicker, and Oscar Buzz. I like Oscar Buzz a lot as a cornerback.
You know, we had Papa John in here. We didn't have an intro joke, and so I said that introducing the new running back delivery fee.
Not bad.
Delivery, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, the headline is, quote, there needs to be a quick and devastating takedown. Emails show how Fauci and head of NIH worked to discredit 3 experts who penned the Great Barrington Declaration, which called for an end to lockdowns.
Where is this from? What
source?
Yeah. Anyway,
this is from the Daily Mail.
Shut down quickly because they disagreed with him.
Oy.
They could be wrong. He could be wrong, but he wanted them shut down. Sorry, go ahead.
Dr. Anthony Fauci and the head of the National Institute of Health colluded on a way to discredit an alternative plan to deal with COVID after a group of experts released emails revealed. The emails, some of which were tweeted out on Saturday, senior research faculty and interim research and education director at the American Institute for Economic Research, show Fauci and Francis Collins attempting to coordinate a devastating takedown. Let's see. Fauci sends Collins a wired op-ed that refutes the notion of herd immunity stopping the pandemic. Here's one of the emails.
Yeah, but anyway, they were wrong.
Yeah, it's all there.
About
it's
shutting
all there.
everything down, and these guys weren't, and they wanted them taken down. So is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I don't know. I don't know what's in his heart. I don't want to listen to him if this is the way he handles this. That's all.
What he allegedly signed off to do to beagles kind of shows that he's not a good guy.
I don't, it's weird. I don't care what people do to animals.
God damn it.
I do.
I know. You're better than I am. What I'm saying is no, what I'm saying, here's what I'm saying. I don't like getting into the weeds of like, he tested whatever on, I don't think it's because he hates dogs. He was trying to test something, shit happens, whatever. I disagree. I like beagles. Fine. I'm just saying, that then gets you into, that's like kind of ad hominem stuff. Like that's like, oh, he's a bad guy. He wanted to test. Look, it's like saying this guy, this general, his orders were to invade and there was a massacre. It's like, okay, but it's not because he hates his troops. You know what I mean? Like shit happens, people die, beagles die, shit happens. That's fine. I'm saying this is a policy thing, and more of this shit's going to come out, and we're going to find out. And these Barrington guys were discredited, and they're dragged through the fucking mud, and their careers were fucked up. And they were right. So I'm just saying, keep your eyes open, and let's see who gets played next time. That's
and these
all.
doctors were from Stanford, Oxford, and Harvard. All the verds.
All the big
never heard of
verds,
them.
right. But you can't disagree. Then you're labeled a lunatic. And your career is going to be fucked up. That's all. Open discussion, open debates. These guys know what they're doing. Have a dialogue. Why do you think the society shouldn't be shut down, fellas? I'm all ears.
Well, but also, I do also feel like, and this isn't my fallback, but I suppose Joe Rogan plays the same card, so I'm allowed to as well. I'm here for the jokes mostly, right? I mean, yeah. If Aaron Rodgers says something, I'm being canceled. You're not being canceled. You're alive. You say conspiratorial stuff. I'm allowed to laugh about you saying that. You're a grown up. I'm allowed to tease you. Your right to free speech is the same as mine. I'm allowed to tease you if you say something I perceive to be silly, right? It's not being canceled.
I agree. He can, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Rogan, whatever. First things first. I know they're the butt of a joke. Are they alive? What happened to them? Does anyone ever figure it out? I mean, they're both two of the healthiest guys on the planet. So how much can we attack their process if they're both playing lights out ball right now? We're like, look at these guys. Look at these guys. Yeah, look at them. What happened?
They survived.
Anyone want to finish the rest of the story, or are they just nut jobs? Secondly, I assume they both have access to tons of information and the medical community can provide.
Well, like Joe Rogan
then they
said,
can just do what they want.
He said, I took ivermectin because I took literally everything that everybody recommended on both quote unquote sides.
All right. I agree. Now we have Martin Kove's going to judge, but we have from Karate Kid 3, Terry Silver, who is is the actor's name Terry Silver? No, that's
the character.
That's a character. I'm not sure what the actor's name is. Anyway, he's by far he's my favorite out of the 5 or 8 or 15 movies that were made, and he's back now in Cobra Kai. But we'll go to the Wayback Machine and show you the bathtub scene. He's an evil guy.
This is one of the
right.
Yes, he is an evil nemesis.
First off,
and they really hammer that point. They want you to understand that this is not a nice man.
Back in the 80s and the 90s, if you had a tight ponytail on a dude, you were evil. And if you're a chick and you took a bubble bath, you were hot.
Right.
And if you're a dude, you were evil.
And you were either about to masturbate or about to be murdered.
By the way, how small is this tub?
Very.
We got to get the bath fitters guy on this guy's bath. Look at that bad tile.
It's like a sink.
But
it's a kitchen sink.
Can I throw in a third group? Bubble bath is for somebody who has never apparently taken a bath at all. They're like bubble bath. It's so foreign to them that it's the lap of luxury. It is the greatest indicator of like, what world have I stepped into? Like, how do I wash myself?
And by the
Same
way,
as usual. Same as usual.
It's 2.5 inches worth of spittle on the surface. It's not even throughout. You know what I mean? It's just a little bit of foam on the top. All right.
I thought of a good trope, by the way, very quickly, Ace. A lot of, just like your quicksand thing, that half of all deaths were attributed to quicksand when we were growing up. A lot of sitcom storylines involve Stradivariuses. We don't see the Stradivarius violin invoked anymore.
Destroyed.
But when we were growing up, like every other one was like, who broke the,
Yeah.
Johnny Boy broke the Stradivarius. Now what are we going to do?
There's always...
I think we should figure out how the hell he got an $8 million violin in the first place.
But they were everywhere.
And the trope was always left in the back seat of a cab. How fast and loose do you have to play with your $8 million instrument? It's on you, presumably, because you don't let it out of your sight. I get it when the phone falls out of your sweatpants.
Right.
This is a whole violin. How do you forget about it? And where are you going with it? You're not going out to eat. You're going to the concert hall. You got a big show that night, like the Humera chick does, right? How could you leave the cab without the thing you're bringing with you that you need up on stage? It
makes
makes
the only
no
thing
sense.
you need.
I'd have it under lucite next to my fake Steelers terrible towel.
All right.
That says Rams on it.
We got, we'll play, let's see. We'll play, Thomas Ian Griffith is the actor's name. Also produced, was in a Dolly Parton Christmas special.
The recent one?
Time Cop 2.
How did I not notice?
Let's see what kind of evil, what evil lurks in this tub. Go ahead.
What?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
That's a good one.
You have to be rude when you answer the phone.
Asshole.
Put out.
What if your mom's calling you from the hospital? What?
Speak.
Yeah.
Is Terry?
What?
But it's your mom.
I'm in the tub.
I know, but please excuse that beeping. That's what's measuring
Heart
my
monitor.
heart rate.
Got it.
Yeah, it's not.
What else?
Well, I mean, it's related.
My
because
fingers are getting pruny.
The doctor, don't worry, but the doctors think I may have had a stroke.
Yeah, speaking of stroke, I could be doing the backstroke right now if you weren't on the goddamn blower.
Oh, do you want to come by as we have visiting hours if you want to stop by?
Yeah, I'll swing by. What are the visiting hours over there? 0 and none? I'm very busy. I'm soaking. All right. Sorry. Yeah, here we go.
What? Don't bullshit me. What do you mean you can't dump it in Borneo? Who in Borneo knows what chloride sludge is? Just do it. Do it. Call me when it's dumped.
He's not alone.
Dump it, toxic waste.
And in conclusion, I reject your final offer. If you proceed, I will sue your collective asses accordingly.
Best of Lorne and the kids, sincerely, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, good. Bring them in. What else?
Is Crease
The
coming
grand
in?
jury, what do you intend to do about them?
Bribe them, as usual.
Mr. Silver.
Lighten up, Margaret. Who's the DA on the case?
Mr. Cole.
Oh, good. Let's invite Willie to dinner Tuesday night, and let's make sure we have his favorite. What is it, poached salmon?
Very well.
Mr.
His nose.
Well, you must be Mike Barnes. Welcome to L.A.
Oh, hey, listen, thank you for bringing me down, Mr. Silver.
He's the ringer.
Yeah.
Call the boys.
Got a large. Hold on. First off, I employ people, but when I bathe,
They can ski
that's
that
kind of my time.
Yeah.
I'm not on the blower with Matt's not standing next to me with a steno pad in the shower. What else, boss?
Because you're not into power moves.
Like, I know Mark Garagos, and I do consult with him time and again, but never from the
With your
tub.
loofah?
He's never with me.
Yeah.
In the bathroom.
You're not a supreme asshole, though, Adam. And by the way, as we learn here, and I think is a recurring theme for assholes in late 80s, early 90s movies, only a true jerk would listen to classical music.
That's right.
That's like if you're cool, you're rocking.
And he's supposed to be in LA. The set, his bathroom looks like the set from Indiana Jones at Disneyland.
Well, we'll get the bath fitter, guys.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Consider it home.
Thanks.
Snake, Dennis, Mike Barnes.
Now there's 11 people
Dennis
in the
will take care
bathroom.
of your training. Snake takes care of everything else. You're looking to be a bad boy in L.A. Snake's the boy to be bad with. Right, Snake?
You know it.
You get a weekly draw in a car. Any questions?
You remember on the phone you said that if I come down here and I beat this LaRusso kid in the All Valley tournament, that you give me 25% ownership in your new dojos?
Uh-huh.
Which I think is more than generous.
Oh, cigar
But,
smoking
give it
time.
some thought. For me to do my absolute best, which is what I want to do for you, I'm afraid I'm going to need 50%.
Ooh, 50%. Well, I don't know if I can afford more than 35.
Hold on a second.
I understand.
This guy's 19. He's doing an amateur karate tournament in Reseda. You get 50% ownership in the building? What about all the other people that showed up for the tournament? What's their stake?
I predict. It's been a little while. I do try to watch karate, one of the top 3, 1, 2, 3, and I don't acknowledge the existence of any other Karate Kids. I predict that this ends with him complimenting the young man on his gumption.
Okay.
I like his style.
You're like a young me.
Got Martin on in the waiting room, so we'll play this out. Go ahead.
I guess I better get going. It's nice meeting everybody.
Hey. Do you fight as hard as you negotiate?
Harder.
You got your 50%.
And I get that in writing.
By noon today.
Mr. Silver, you just bought yourself a champion.
You remember that. Snake, show him to his room.
Yes, sir. Mike?
See you later, Mike. Give me those.
All right, now bring in the accountant, the florist, funeral director. Bring in all the people that work for me.
What do you think?
Oh, he's obnoxious.
Yeah, he's perfect.
Oh, now he needs some alone time to handle himself.
I forgot that there were 9 people in this bathroom.
Yeah.
The number, that's a great one. The other great one is when he goes past his row of cars. That's my favorite scene of Terry Silver.
Well, we'll talk to the great Martin Kove, Crease, and we'll do that right after this.
It's time for Nicaraguan Name That Movie with Adam's buddy Oswaldo. See if you can guess which movie this famous line is from.
Get him and body back.
If you said The Karate Kid,
Get him a body bag!
You're correct. Now, back to the show.
Well, the great Martin Kove has joined us, and let me just blow everyone's mind with Cobra Kai. season 4 available now on Netflix, by the way. Hit number 1 on Netflix and number 1 of all TV shows worldwide. Has seasons 1 and 2 drew nearly 2.2 billion streaming minutes in 1 week. Jesus H. Christ. Martin Kove. Who did you see any of this coming?
Not a chance. Not a chance. It's, we all look at it as the gift that keeps giving. But I believe it's all in the writing. It's what constitutes a great movie. Casablanca, whether it's Star Wars or whether it's Gone with the Wind or Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's the writing.
How
these cats can write. They got good perception.
How long between, and I'll buy some time to figure this out, but when you walked off the set for your last day of filming Karate Kid 3, I guess, until Cobra Kai began shooting, 4 or 5 years ago or whatever it was there 25 years? Was it 15 years? Like what was that time? Because it's kind of crazy that it didn't come on the heels of anything. It was a long period of time. Do you remember those dates?
Of course. It was 89 at the end of Karate Kid 3. And then it was 2000, 2017.
Wow.
When we sat in Dan Tana's in the restaurant and they were telling me what they were going to do. And Ralph and Billy had signed on already for season 1. And I had to come in episode 10, season 1, and sort of sell the second season. And I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to come in earlier. But they said, we need you to, as a big surprise. And I had to maintain silence all the way from, would have been November of that year, all the way through May, while all the press was going on. I couldn't speak, couldn't tell anyone I was on the show. And then when he arrives, hell broke loose and people said, I knew they couldn't kill you. 30 years, you knew you had to show up. John Kreese had to arrive. And he has that great line where and the real story has only just begun, It's
been, almost 30 years.
To answer your question, 30 years, yeah. I would say 30 years. But remember, they're always coming up to you and saying, hey, we got a great movie for you to do. It's a combination of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and the Karate Kid. It's a combination of Star Wars and Temple of Doom. Bottom line was they came to Ralph and Billy and I, and those scripts never turned out to be anything. This was the only group that could pitch and sell because they really had something in their hands,
Yeah, it's all in the execution. Whether you're doing a TV show or opening a restaurant, everyone's like, what's the trick? What's the gimmick? What's the format? It's like just good food.
Good food,
just good scripts, good food. And we're living in a time where, Lego, the movies are great, where you can't go, oh, that's a dumb idea. That'll never work. It's all in the execution. There's nothing that you can say will or won't work based on the concept.
Well, and
anymore.
The nostalgia for, a fan favorite like Karate Kid, that'll buy people like an episode or two. But you're right. Like if it's no good, people jump off. This is the best. It's a great series.
The nostalgia thing is good for the same amount of time that people watch Magic Johnson host a late night show. Which is like, oh, I love that guy. And they watch the first episode and they go, that guy sucks. And then they never watch it again. That's pretty much how people are with nostalgia. Right. It's not like a lot of Lakers fans just stayed with him all the way
I don't
through.
want to make any trouble. This is all nice. I'm glad Sensei Kreese, everything has come through clean on the other side for him. But let's get in the Wayback Machine here. 30, 40 years ago, that All Valley tournament, I don't want to, accuse anybody of anything, but your thoughts, Sensei. The All Valley tournament, the bracket stunk to high heaven. Why was Danielson getting such a free pass to the final against Johnny? Johnny is clearly the best of the bunch. He had to go through high-end competition all the way. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the Rams had to run the gauntlet to get to this Super Bowl. Do you want to, I mean, I don't know if you are a classier person than I, but if you want to make some accusations here that there were shenanigans pulled at that All-Valley tournament, the floor is yours, sir.
Well, there's no question about it that Johnny Lawrence should have won the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The crane kick was a debauchery. There's no such thing as the crane kick. It was made up by one of the stuntmen. And, you know, we've been rebelling against that. I'll do an autograph show and I'll introduce Billy on the dais with Ralph and I'll say, everyone, 5,000 people sitting in the audience in Salt Lake. And I'll say, by the way, this young man, William Zabka, he's the real Karate Kid. And I'll stand up and introduce him like that.
Boo!
So, you know, but people accept it now because, you know, it seems to be that, you know, controversy is more set in people's ways now than ever before because they're spending too much time at home. So the word controversy, people will find more things to gripe about and change. And, you know, I think, get back to what you earlier was saying, the success, aside from the writing, it was the right time. People were spending time at home. They were getting good feelings about what they were seeing in this show in regard to what they experienced back in the 80s when I had a theory when they were either bullied, had a romance that didn't work, or they were fish out of water. And something back in the 80s was resonating with them while they were watching Cobra Kai, 40 years later. And it was good feelings. It was good stuff because everybody was stuck at home, COVID-19, blah, blah, blah. And times were tough. Here we are getting reminded about the good stuff that, we experienced in the 80s. The adults were like teenagers, and the kids now love, the fact that they could get around the TV with their parents and watch it like the Ed Sullivan Show and watch and get something out of this thing called Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, is wonderful because families stopped getting around TVs like back in the old days, We'd get around maybe a movie theater and we'd sit in the same row, but now we can do it at home, which I think is a huge plus for its success.
Martin, you're getting paid now, but do you want a real payday? Because I have an idea I'm going to float to you right now. A real payday. No, you're making decent scratch.
His name is Crease, Adam.
But I'm talking about real money here. You want some real money?
Oh, God.
Just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Remember, my purpose in life right now is to rejuvenate the Western at any cost.
I'll get it funded for you. You fund it yourself.
All right.
Listen to me. All these crazy celebrity YouTuber fights. The YouTuber guy is going to fight Tyson. Tyson's going to fight Holyfield. This is crazy Wild West, if you will, of crazy pay-per-view. And it's working. You got guys who played in the NFL, and he's fighting the YouTube guy, and they're selling pay-per-views, and they're getting these guys paid. Now, you have Billy and you have Ralph, right? And you go, the real Karate Kid. You get in there, and you agitate a little. Not on camera, but at the public events and, while you guys are hanging out at craft service, and you start floating, but Billy, but Machio would win. The real actor, he would beat Billy. You start getting in both their ears. You get a little action going. You get a little bad blood going between the two of them. And then we announce an actual MMA fight between Billy and the Karate Kid.
Oh, wow.
Regulation cage, regulation gloves. We blow up the internet. The pay-per-views, every news outlet picks it. You tell those guys, look, you train for 3 months. You're both going to get $15 million for could be 10 minutes work. This is it, boys. This is, we all ride into the sunset with this payday, and we get Michael Buffer or whoever, Bruce Buffer, whatever it calls. We'll get Joe Rogan to announce. Every outlet is going to pick this up. They'll hype the shit out of it. $49.99 pay-per-view. becomes bigger. I'm old enough to remember Billie Jean King when she was playing against
Bobby Riggs.
Bobby Riggs. It captured the nation. Mm-hmm. It's all we talked about. 2 months leading into it, it's all we could do. Every late night show host is weaving it into the monologue. Every show.
So Martin's more like Don King. He's like the hype man.
Yeah, I need Martin. Obviously, this is my idea, so I'm in for a taste.
50%?
No.
35. Oh, wait a minute. I got to figure out.
Do you fight as hard as you negotiate?
All right. Come on, Martin. We'll go off and make Westerns together after this.
I think it's a good idea, actually. I really do. It's like, some of those autograph shows.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if Ralph wants to go or if Billy wants to go because it's out of the country. I go because my kids are grown up. So it's kind of like that's the trick is I think from a business standpoint, it's brilliant. I think presenting it is not a problem. I would present it. I haven't got a problem. I just don't know if the excuses of having to train for months and get ready and all that, if those excuses would be a dominant reason for either one of them not to.
I don't know who this Ralph and Billy even are, but they can be on the undercard. I want Danielson and Johnny to do it again to make right what was wrong in that All-Valley tournament.
That's
and
right.
if Kreese is too classy to say it, I am not. Johnny got jobbed in that final match.
That's what we talked.
Danielson kicks him right in the face. But Johnny, earlier, he gets a point deducted. He gets a point deducted for a cheap shot. You're not allowed to deliver a face shot either. And Danielson wins the whole tournament on one. I say fair. I say something was foul that day. How say you, Kreese?
This is all part of the setup. This is all part of the setup to the actual fight. This is the hype into it. Look, they may not want to train. Tell them, I guarantee them $18 million a piece. 3 months' work.
I think it's a really good idea. In fact, I'm in Nashville. Billy's close. I don't think it's a problem with the dollar figure. Ralph could finish his beach house. I think I will. You know what? I'm going to bring that up.
Oh my God!
My podcast, my kids and I, we have Kicking It with the Coves, which launched today. And my kids are here in Nashville. That's a great. With your permission, that's a great thing to talk about and start to hum. And it wouldn't have to be, hey, Marty Kove is dropping the idea because I did the Adam Carolla show. But it would come from, I've been talking to some people and, what do you think of this? And I would voice it on the show and just say, Jesse, my son, this is called Kicking with the Coves with Jesse Kove and Rachel Kove, my kids. And it launches today and it's terrific. We've had all kinds of people. But wouldn't it be great to talk about that between us?
Oh, yeah.
But play it so cool and so, new. And start to hum. Because I think it's a good idea. It also would pay me enough money to finance the Western the way I want to make it.
So, I want to talk about that. Who are the brothers? One of them's fighting Tyson, I think.
The Pauls?
Now, the Paul brothers. But one of them, I think, has agreed to fight Tyson. There's some real pay-per-view money in these, what we would think would be novelty fights.
Right.
And like I said, again, Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King, the entire country captured. Mm-hmm. The world captured by this.
And because as, little girls, we were all completely obsessed with Daniel, but now with the show, we're all totally in on Johnny. So this would really split the room. It's not just good versus bad anymore. We don't know who's good and bad. This is good.
First off, we would get $500 million worth of free advertising. This would be discussed on every platform known to man. It wouldn't, it's not political, so it's like, well, Fox isn't going to talk about it, but CNN would, or vice versa. No, this would just be
it's a fun thing for everyone.
All platforms. This would be mammoth. I'm spitballing here, Marty, which I'm going to call you now, because now that we're a team, I need to delineate between those who are on a team with you and then guys like myself, spitballing here. But
I think the spitballing has got to be really clean because I think this could work, but it's got to be tasty. It's got to be real tasty, I think.
Like where you're at, Marty.
And it's got to be different because it's tasty and cool, not because it's just blatantly big money to these guys who do have a problem, with leaving family and going off to making money in an autograph show and going to abroad. I'd always like to go to abroad, but Billy and Ralph don't. And so that's the mindset we're dealing with.
Well, we'll stay in. We'll have the fight at Texas Stadium, right up there, center. Put the octagon right at the Star.
If Kreese is a gambling man, let's just say, what kind of odds are you putting on this one?
Yeah.
Are you going Johnny or are you going Danielson?
Well, let's see. I can't remember if it's the fourth season or the fifth season when they fought. Did you see the fourth season all the way through?
Not yet, no, but I shall.
Okay, there's a fight, and between the two of them, and I want to talk about it in case it is the fifth season. I don't remember now.
It's a fourth.
But the bottom line is that it's pretty even, and it's cool that it's even. It's cool that it's even, And I think that who I put the money on, I put it on Billy because he's got more of a killer instinct than Ralph. But in season 4, Ralph's killer instinct comes out. He's not that everyman car salesman. There's a whole different dynamic that they've written for him. Yeah. And when you watch season 4, you'll see. And there were touches of John Kreese in both these guys. And that's what's making the show even better, And so in regard to fighting, the killer instinct for the big, if somebody got paid $20 million to win, $15 million to lose, who knows? Who knows what that extra $5 million
I heard you call Machio a pussy. That's what I heard.
He's biased. Come on. Johnny was his star student for a long time. What's he going to say? What do you think?
Look, he sized up the man. He knows. All right, this is where it starts. You know what I mean? Just a burr in the saddle.
Right.
You know what I mean? A little agitating. That's all. That's all. We get a little heat going.
Well,
we get we get like Roseanne Barr and Whoopi to fight on like the undercard or something. We're making a night. We're making a night out of it.
I think it's actually. I think it really could work, man. I think it requires some really good thought. But my manager Gary Astall he handles a lot of these rap acts and very successful guys, and it always amazes me that I know so little about that, and yet how successful it is. I know so little about what really Don King does. Martin Kove can be tenacious and push himself as an actor, or my son, but it's a new game. And the fact that it's a new game, we may turn over a lot of new wheels here, a lot of new issues that normally, promoters don't.
Yeah.
Just because of who we are.
Well, also, these promoters, as much as they try to push themselves out in front of the camera and everything, this is pro wrestling acting at best. You and I, seasoned veterans of the stage, strong improvisational chops, celebrated, respected. When we hold a news conference, we know what we're doing. We're not up there babbling. You know what I'm saying? We get it done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's got black belts in all in various disciplines. Adam, you're a pugilist. If you're going to push this, understand where it winds up.
Yeah.
It's Kreese v. Carolla. So
that's chapter 2. That's
okay. I just want to let you both know I want your eyes wide open.
Yeah,
if you want to open this can of worms, it's going to get all the way open.
Well, that happens because you feel like you got shorted on the pay-per-view. I wasn't transparent with the numbers. There's
spoiler alert, Adam. Don't give the whole thing away.
Okay, all right. I go a lot. Yeah, the numbers were big, but a lot of those people, our system was hacked into. We didn't get paid on a lot of that. then you and I dance.
The kind of what's attracting would be attractive to people to hear you and I because of our backgrounds. We're not shysters looking to get a few more Cadillacs and a bigger house in Bel Air. I mean,
speak for yourself.
Yeah. Well, sorry, go ahead, Marty. Right, don't listen to him.
I mean, I'm talking. I just got a gig where I'm the Shinja crypto spokesman, and it's about Bitcoins and all that, and I'm learning about all of that, and it's really very exciting. It's very lucrative, and what's fascinating is that it's legitimizing the actor in areas that is not John Kreese, that is not Cobra Kai. It legitimizes the knowledge that I have to entertain right now as a businessman. Mm-hmm. And it's fascinating, I bet, how that would react on the public. If I'm talking about this fight that you guys got to watch and blah, 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 and they've just saw me, whether it was that QuickBooks commercial I did or the Shinja crypto spot that I just finished, it legitimizes, it makes us legitimate. Yeah. It makes us really the people to listen to when we're talking about stuff that could be handled cheaply, that could be handled superficially, a fight between two TV personalities, but they deserve to fight to find out the truth.
Oh, so good.
I love this.
So good. What do you think Jake Paul's going to make in his last fight or his next one?
I mean, the one with Tyson that was rumored was $50 million.
$50 million.
Damn. Yeah.
Was that going to Jake, or they're going to split the pot? I mean, there's real cash on the table here, Marty. I don't think that's even up to dispute.
I love the creativity of it all. I love
good angle.
The angles and all that. The action of it. I like that a lot. I don't know if I could deal with the people. I think I'd let you deal with the people.
No, I'm a people person. That's what they say. Yeah, I know. I handle the nuts and the bolts.
I want 35%.
Listen, I know. I'll hang up. I'll get on the phone with Mark Garagos right now, and we'll paper this thing. We'll paper this goddamn thing. I'll go to my bathtub. I'll summon Geragos into my bathroom.
Puffing on a big cigar.
I'll light a cigar, and we will paper this deal.
I get to be Snake.
You know it.
That's right. You smoke cigars. That's right. I do, too, so it's fun.
Well,
we're really
the top.
Intellectual.
Wait. So, Martin, let's get. You think you could sell this to these two guys? I mean, again, we're talking. Look, I'm spitballing somewhere between 15, maybe 25 million for a night's work.
There's no doubt there's at least seven figures in it for the fighters, and that's low end. But legitimately, seven figures is what would happen for both guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, that has a lot to do with it. The actual figure, I think, because it's something that neither one of them would entertain, in conversation. But if it becomes a real situation from us, from real people, not fans, but us, not person they don't know, it is food for thought. I believe it's food for thought. And you have to figure out you have to figure out, Adam, what the real number is.
We're going to
the real number.
We would film it, and it would be part of the show. we would work the storyline in. We're going to roll on it, Marty. We're rolling. After we paper, we roll. First we paper the deal, then we roll on the deal.
I can't wait to read Hollywood Reporter tomorrow.
And then we'll write it into the line. The story. You got to capture this.
But they break the fourth wall as Billy and Ralph?
Well, let the writers sort out the nuts and the bolts.
Gina.
I mean, they've already fought. Okay.
I'm saying, you want to make that Western? Hollywood ain't. They're not getting out their checkbooks. We're going to have to do this ourselves.
We will.
Crowdfund.
The interesting thing is that back in 1990, the year the kids were born, I fought Larry Holmes in Atlantic City.
What?
Holy hell.
I went 3 rounds with Larry Holmes, and it's a great story. So I was set up to do a charity event, and he was supposed to rehearse with me and do some stunt work, and he didn't show up. So I went backstage and I said to him, Larry, you're supposed to work with me. And, he said, don't worry about it, kid. You just come at me with everything you got. And I said, yeah, but come on, Larry. I might just nail you, and then you'll just, you'll knock me right out because you'll be pissed off. And he said, don't worry about it. And, it wouldn't be to my benefit to knock you out. And I said, why? And he said, because you're a hero and a legend in my house. So, boom. Next day, 3 rounds. I lasted a round and a half. I couldn't even raise my arms. The amount of stamina these guys have. And here was Sugar Ray Leonard's in the Tony LoBianco, Sugar Ray Leonard. They were all the judges' box. And I can't even stand up after a round and a half. And my hat just went off to these guys. He never hit me, ever. And I really went at him. Never touched him. And it was one of the best experiences I ever had to show the stamina of these fighters, all of them, whether they're MMA or heavyweights. It was like a ride along with the police. You just were there, and you knew what these guys, how good they were. So it's the kind of thing one can talk about because I had personal experience.
Yeah, that's good.
Just like when you got beat up the other day in the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
You give that story to Macchio. That I think he's going to identify with that, which is, look, forget about the payday. This is an experience. You know what I mean? This is something you're going to take in and live with the rest of your life.
Yeah.
This is
your legacy.
This is your legacy. Yeah. Oh, this is good. This is good,
Funny.
Marty.
Funny.
It's a good pitch session.
Funny money. That's what I say. What about this Western? You got a script?
Well, what I'm trying to do is, from 1920 to 1967, one of every 3 movies coming out of Hollywood was a Western. So it's a highly overexposed genre. The bottom line is kids don't know about it. Kids need heroes. They need people to look up to now, especially what's going on in society. The Western was the heritage of American cinema. And I'm working on different scripts. Like 1883 is brilliant because 1883, the mere fact that it's all about heroes. It's all about these people crossing rivers and handling Native Americans and handling outlaws and handling disease. It was what the American frontier was about. They are the heroes, not, slick, fast gun, Billy the Kids. So what I'm trying to do is find a happy medium between an old gunfighter, puts his guns down for a certain reason, then picks them up at the end. And there's got to be a really strong twist and reason, family-oriented, I believe, of why he does this, where we haven't seen it before in other movies. So it's a matter of freshness in this movie genre. It's tough to sell in the theaters because kids don't know about it. They don't know Red Ribbon.
Just spitballing here. Do you know Kevin Costner?
Of course. We did Wyatt Earp together.
I could get him to direct this. I could get Costner to direct this. He's a dear friend.
He's now directing that. They announced this thing, Frontier. Was it Frontier? Yes, called Frontier. And, Yellowstone is brilliant. And the fellow who wrote Yellowstone is the same, just a wonderful writer, old cowboy who was a rodeo rider. And he wrote 1883, which is brilliant, just brilliant. It can be done. It can be appreciated. It just needs the right literature.
What do you think the budget is?
The budget, you can do it for 5 and you can do it for 15. It doesn't matter. It just, Wyatt Earp was done for 70. And after I left, by the end of the movie, it was at 90. And my son, Jesse, is playing Wyatt Earp when he met Doc Holliday, which is a prequel to Tombstone. So it's all about moments. It's written by the same people that wrote Tombstone. So it's all about the writing, Adam. It's all about the writing. And great films like, Red River, The Searchers, Tombstone, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. These are brilliant pictures, but we can't make those again. We really have to do something else that's going to entice the young audience like Cobra Kai. That'll bring them in there and they'll talk about it forever. And you will be allowed to get around the TV with your nephews and talk about the Western because it's that interesting a project. It's a hard sell, but I'm being very, very choosy.
We don't have to sell. We finance ourselves off the gate alone from the pay-per-view. Not even the pay-per-view money, just the gate. After I wet my beak, the gate is what we take.
Remember,
Texas Stadium, 70,000 strong. Come on. Concessions alone, T-shirts, commemorative gis. It's all there. I'm spitballing.
It's all there.
All right.
You're right. It's all there. I have my own line, and I have this drink deal that's coming out. But yet, it's really interesting, and it's small compared to what we're talking about now.
All right. All right. So I need you, obviously, to weave your magic. I don't have any ins on that set.
Martin's the face.
But you're the face. You go weave your magic. Mark Garagos is actually calling into the show in about 10 minutes. So again, we'll get something written up. Mm-hmm. That's all.
You convinced a bunch of teenagers to turn into bad guys, and you got Johnny to sweep the leg. You can convince Daniel-san and Johnny to go toe-to-toe, mano-a-mano.
Mano-a-mano. What do you think the figure would be if you had them on the show right now, or they were right here next to me in Nashville? What figure could we throw out?
Based on the Paul brothers, or is it
Logan and Jake?
I always want to say Aaron Paul. So Logan or Jake. Like, I've interviewed those guys. They're talking about a Logan Tyson thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's, I think, $50 million laying around. That get views, it gets some buzz, it gets some stuff, but this feels next level.
You have a built-in audience, which is the audience of Cobra Kai. All the people who watch it would be incented to watch this actual fight.
And then worldwide. And like I said, it would make, Tyson fighting Paul, it might make it in a little late-night monologue action or whatever, Fox News commentary or CNN, but not much. This would be everywhere. There'd be a countdown clock in Times Square to the actual fight.
This is the thing that would bring this nation together.
It would heal us.
Yes.
It would heal us. Yeah. If you're an American, Marty, then you'll heal this nation with this fight. I'm talking spitballing, $20 million each.
That might
Why
be
not?
too aggressive to start with, though. What? Get them on the hook.
Would
Which
they
is
fight?
What's the minimum? $2 million? I think legitimately they would make that if you did this.
Yeah.
Minimum.
What is it, Billy? And this is important. Is it Ralph fighting Billy? Or is it solely Daniel fighting Johnny Lawrence?
No, I think it's Ralph fighting Billy.
Yes.
That's where the money is.
That's what we want to see.
So that is it. That the campaign to launch that would be a serious campaign. It wouldn't be cartoon.
No.
It would be a serious campaign.
There's
like
been some
any
bad
other
blood.
bout.
And if I may say, I don't know if this spurs things either side. If Zabka didn't kick the shit out of Macchio, I'd be very surprised.
Well, he's got 4 years on him.
The whole Vegas odds makers guys, that stuff would go on. We'd see the line moving around, prop bets.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. All right. Marty, I want you
Adam, if I pull this off for you before the fight, you can fund my Western.
Yeah, I will. I'll fund your Western. I'll get costed and direct. I'll fund that Western, man.
This is a win-win.
He's the greatest.
He's the greatest.
Kevin makes a Western out of everything, out of Postman, out of Waterworld. He's the best. And,
I agree.
And honestly, John Dutton in Yellowstone would be John Kreese if I had a ranch. I would have the same values. John Kreese has the same values as John Dutton about it's the land, it's the heritage, it's our grandparents. We don't sell out. And I just love that show.
Adam, you would love Yellowstone.
I know. I love Costner. He's a great guy. I've stayed down at his beach house, and he's got a big double wide over there on his land, and he's got acreage on the beach.
And the two lots.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'll get him a direct. I'll fund this thing. We don't need Hollywood. We just need to make this pay-per-view fight happen. That's all, Marty. Look, we'll talk.
I'm very serious about this. You call my PR person. Leave me a number. I'm very serious about this, and we will talk about this off camera.
The great Martin Kove, everyone, kicking it with the Coves. It's available now. It's a pod, and of course, Cobra Kai. All right, Marty, we'll talk off camera.
Nice talking to everybody.
Take care, my brother.
What a thrill.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
I know that you were sort of sincere, but did you have any idea it was going to be a 30-minute pitch meeting on something he is very interested in?
I am very accustomed to floating ideas that are great ideas and have everyone laugh it off and go, anyway. Yeah, whatever. Attack crows or dogs that sniff out cancer. I've spent an entire career talking about stuff that are right. And I'm going, no, this would work. Yeah. This is a good idea.
Kreese, to say Sensei Kreese believes in you is a big deal. That's not nothing.
Couple things. One, this is of course great, and I sincerely think it would make a fair chunk of loot if you put it together. One, two, Cowboy Stadium. It's got to be in the Valley, Adam.
That's
right.
Got
to put it at the Rose Bowl.
Of course.
That's where this happens. And three, I just wanted to name drop too. I once said to Kevin Costner, I asked him if he wanted to have a catch like he does to his ghost father at the end of Field of Dreams, and he and I caught a football. He has a hose.
Wow.
His good arm.
Yeah.
He threw Sonny, he was throwing 50-yard bombs to Sonny when we were staying over at his place. All right, Geragos is ready. Talk to him about papering this deal.
I can set up some of what he's calling if you'd like.
Well, we'll take a quick break. Okay. We'll come back and we'll do that right after this. All right, so there's this whole Brian Flores thing and Miami, the coach, black discrimination, class action lawsuit.
2 controversies at once. With
Lots of controversies going on, and we thought great attorney Mark Geragos could weigh in on this since he's had an inside look on what goes on at with the owners and the league and everything else. Mark, you with us?
I am. How are you? How is everybody there in the studio?
Great.
We're good.
Fantastic. Yes, I'm in New York, and it is kind of the talk of the town. This lawsuit and the trial that's going on with Sarah Palin against the New York Times. So there's competing stories. This one is interesting because they talk about Kaepernick, and this was filed in the Southern District in federal court as opposed to ours, which was under the collective bargaining agreement. And they do a pretty nice job of the history of racism in the NFL. I mean, it's a very detailed, multi-page kind of synopsis of using their own words against them, using the Kaepernick situation against them, using the situation that actually has been getting a lot of play most recently is that the allegation in there is that Brian Flores was told in 2019 by Steve Ross, who's the owner of the franchise, to he'd pay him $100,000 for every game he lost because he wanted to tank the team to get a better draft pick, which has been making all kinds of noise about that today.
Allegations of the Browns doing that as well with their coach. I think their
Hugh
coach
Jackson
came out.
Claims that it was insinuated he would do well to drop some games, right?
Right. All right. So first things first, why does Flores make this a class action lawsuit? Why not, from a legal standpoint, what's in it for him, or is there anything in it for him?
Well, there arguably, if they do it as a class, they may get around some of the problems that you normally would have run into with suing the NFL. The NFL has got various kinds of protections. so to speak. And there is a thought, and I would be speculating here, but I'm somewhat intrigued by bringing it as a class lawsuit. Maybe the problem with the class lawsuit is you've got to have some members of the class, and I don't know unless they're going to attract a number of other clients who's going to step forward on this, because it would, you know what happens when you take action against the NFL, you get frozen out.
So what's your thoughts and what's your predictions? And then how does, the NFL right now with Gruden is going after them as well.
Well, and the thing they have in common, they're all whoopsie emails and texts.
Right.
Right. And Gruden is mentioned predominantly in this lawsuit as well. They go through and say that that's part of the, shows the discrimination, that he was allowed to just kind of resign when they knew about these things for months and months and months. And mind you, that the Gruden text also came out of another lawsuit where discovery was done, and the NFL is apparently still holding on to, for dear life, a number of the emails there, which may come out in another piece of litigation, because apparently they shed light in a horrible, horrible way on what the NFL was doing and tolerating.
So the Rooney Rule is when you're interviewing for new coaches that X amount of interviews must be in a minority group. Two. So that's the rule. So the allegation is people do what they do, which is fine. We'll interview two brothers for this, but we've already decided on the white guy to be the head coach. Is that kind of the allegation?
It's not only the allegation; it's implanted in the complaint itself, the legal document, the texts between the plaintiff and Belichick. And Belichick is telling him that they've already decided on the guy that they're going to hire 3 days before Flores has gotten set for an interview. So it shows that's some pretty good evidence that the Giants were just kind of going through the motions.
Is Belichick exposed here, or did he just sort of make a mistake? Like he just thought he got the wrong name and said congratulations. I feel like he basically says something like, I really screwed up here. Wrong guy. I thought it was you and he wasn't. And so I think what you are seeing is part of what generally happens. They get together behind closed doors. I mean, they mentioned one of the things that was leaked in our litigation, which was a accusation of just this kind of shenanigans going on when they were behind closed doors, not knowing that somebody had taped what was happening in there. And they also cite how the league had kowtowed to the president, because the president had said this was a winning issue for him. And that was, to this day, I'm sure, why one of the owners had changed his mind almost dramatically. And it will be interesting to see if they try to get at the Steve Ross depot that was done in the Kaepernicks, because that would be illuminating, I'm sure. Well, so what's the overall allegation, not the allegation, but sort of the opinion, which is, are they not hiring black coaches because they're black? Because, well, Dave Dameshek comes from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, is your coach?
Rooney Rule, it's kind of a bad look that it so happens that the organization that established the Rooney Rule, named after Dan Rooney, is the only team currently employing a man of color. I think, though, Mark, as far as this goes, it's going to be hard, even though you have the black and white chronology, pun not intended, black and white, but the Belichick text messages 2 days before announcing Dable has the job, and it does speak to an old boys club going on there, that Belichick somehow would know what the Giants' business is. The more damning thing ultimately feels to me like for the league, legal or otherwise, moral or otherwise, is that you have an owner telling his coach, like, hey, let's have a bad day at the office today, coach. The worst thing for professional sports leagues is that the games aren't on the up and up, right? Is that the thing that they're most concerned about going forward?
I think they have to be. I mean, how are they ever in a million years as a league going to and ironically, I'm told, I don't remember if this is true, you would, that the fans were actually rooting for them to lose at the time. If that's the case, it's somewhat ironic that now the owner would come under some kind of scrutiny by virtue of telling them to lose, and that he, the kind of takeaway is he's had too much success for our tastes, and we really wanted a franchise quarterback. And there's also the allegation, who do you think they're referring to a marquee quarterback that they were trying to tamper with by Mr. Ross setting up a meeting on his yacht for lunch with Flores, and the quarterback was supposedly going to stop on by, and that was another tampering style violation by the ownership of the Dolphins.
All right, Mark, now on to pressing matters. I'd like you to paper a deal for me. Okay? Now listen, I'm not kidding. I don't know if you write, if you got one of your secretaries next to you, or I'll give you the beats.
He's in the bathtub right now.
Here are the beats right now. You ready?
Guys, I'm waiting.
I just talked to Martin Kove, Kreese from Cobra Kai. Okay? It's one of the biggest TV shows on right now. I floated the idea of he and I coming together to promote an MMA fight between Billy Zabka and Ralph Macchio, an actual pay-per-view event. Mark, you know the big three. You know how this world works. You know this world works. The Paul brothers are getting fighting Mike Tyson, old has-been fighters, fighting YouTube stars. These guys are lining their pockets with cash. This would be the biggest event. The nation would be captured. The imagination of the nation, the world would be captured by this fight. And Kove is on board.
This is genius.
Kove, of course it's genius. It's leaving my mouth. Kove is going to be my inside man who's going to make this fight happen. There's going to be a real fight. MMA rules. All right. Now, I don't want Kove half-cocked. Oh, hey, fellas, I've got an idea. Had an idea on the way into the studio. No. I need this thing papered. I
used to have an inside track on that show, but Jake's no longer dating her, so I have to revert back to the traditional way.
Your son was dating somebody from the cast?
Yes.
Well, okay. All right. But they're broken off.
It's broken off. He's got a wonderful new girlfriend.
All right, so all I got is Kove here, but I'm just saying I'm going to be left out in the weeds here. I'm in for a taste.
I think we got to do some. Well, now that when does your show drop?
This show is tomorrow as we tape it.
In mere hours.
In mere hours.
Okay. So I got to do something before it drops tomorrow. Otherwise, somebody's going to steal your idea.
Right.
Time is of the essence. But
exactly.
the pay-per-view. First off, there's the gate. There's just Texas Stadium, the Rose Bowl, whatever. There's the gate. That's a ton of cash. Then there's all the memorabilia and all the stuff, concessions and all that kind of stuff. But the pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view is where the money is.
The amount of press, free press, every late night show, monologue, CNN, Fox, every morning radio show. Joe Rogan, they're all buzzing about it. They'd all be buzzing about it for months leading into it.
Healing the nation.
Would we have Adam on the undercard?
Oh.
There we go. It's come up
I
a second
fight
time.
Kaepernick on the undercard. Red, white, and blue trunks like Apollo Creed. Or Rocky. Wait a minute. Apollo Creed. That's right. Make it happen. I'm telling you, you're.
I'll get right on it.
Well, because you got your F. Lee Bailey meets P.T. Barnum. You know what I mean? That's really who you are.
So I'll get right on it.
Hey, Clubber Lang v. Apollo Creed, Weathers v. T would also be a nice undercard too. Think about that. We can have a whole night.
Well, we're going to fill up the undercard, but this, I said to Kove, bigger than Billie Jean King. Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King. You guys aren't old enough, but that's all this country talked about for a full 6 months leading in. A tennis match. Mm-hmm. That's tennis.
And it was something.
And this is MMA. It's not tennis. MMA.
Garagos, I have another gem for you too. If we're spitballing sporting events here, and this is how you answer to the NFL. What we do, we can't have teams tanking. It exposes teams and their ulterior motives. We replace the Pro Bowl perennially, the week between the title games and the Super Bowl, with the Loser Bowl. The two worst teams play one another. The winner gets the first overall pick. Therefore, there would be no trying to tank to get the number one pick. You have to play your way to the number one pick. How say you at the player level? Why would the NFLPA get in the way of this if you're paying the players to participate in this game?
I love that.
Thank you.
I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
Can have a busy day.
All right, Mark.
Paper that one, too.
I got to paper this over. I'll see you in a bit.
All right. Reasonable doubt. You can listen to it now. We'll get into the Flores thing. But first off, let's prioritize, Mark.
Yeah.
Gotta paper this deal. All right.
Yeah, I'm on it.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
It's going to wet your beak.
I don't think this is far-fetched. And I can't tell how seriously you're taking it, but I'm behind it.
I'm behind it too.
It's doable.
If John Kreese calls back and says, "Guess what? They're in," I think he'll take it very seriously.
Yeah.
I'm thinking in a world where there's subjects. You know, we're talking about Fauci. Like half the country wants to talk shit about Fauci. The other half doesn't want to know about it, doesn't want to talk about it, and vice versa, in all different directions. This subject would be a subject that every platform would discuss. This would be on the extras, the entertainment shows.
No third rail.
It would be on the TMZs.
Yeah.
It would be on CNN. It would be on every late night show. There'd be nonstop discussion of this.
Yeah, because the talking heads have the nostalgia for the actual franchise from back in our day.
Yes.
Now, would you like to know the actual ages of Ralph Macchio and William Zabka? Or does that not matter?
Nah, give it to me.
Billy, William Zabka, 56.
All right.
Ralph Macchio, hold on to your butts, 60 years old.
Yeah, but still got a lot of fight left in
a
it.
lot of fight.
All right.
A lot of fight, a lot of bite.
Zabka would work him over, but good.
I think so.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, Macchio.
That's what we're saying.
And Ralph really is, because we've had him on, the nicest human being on the earth. That's not going to cut it when you're fighting like that.
Until they shut the cage to that octagon.
We're caging it. I didn't know it was
Oh, yeah. They shut the cage door. That's a different...
That's a different
so
Ralph.
It's Thunderdome, in other words.
It's the octagon.
Yeah.
They got to
Two-man enter.
They got to climb in. I mean, there's a door.
Yeah.
It's a cage.
It's locked from the outside.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, let me tell you about Geico. Do you own? Do you rent your home? Well, you do one or the other, and I bet you work hard, too. It's easy as bundling with Geico. Geico makes it easy to bundle your homeowners or renters insurance along with your auto policy. It's a good thing, too, because you already have so much to do around the house. So go to geico.com, get a quote, and see just how much you could save and how easy it is to save when you get your bundle working at Geico. That is at geico.com. All right, I'm no good to anyone anymore. I got ideas.
Yeah.
I got to get on the blower with Geragos. I got to get Marty.
Let's wrap this up.
I bring Marty in. I got to get Marty on the blower. Let's bring this home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina Grad.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
The podcast, -3 and extra points with Cousin Sal, is where you can find the great Dave Dameshek.
I appreciate it, but let me just say, -3 if you are an Adam Carolla fan, which obviously you are if you're listening, his great pal, Kevin Hench. I mean, Ace, you got to join us on -3 one of these days because your boy Hench is worked up into a lather every week, every Thursday. Listen to his thoughts on all things Tom Brady and otherwise. It's hysterical.
I love Hench and love his takes. You can shoot Dave a tweet at Dameshek. And, of course, Marty Kove, kicking it with the Coves, available now where you find finer podcasts. And, of course, Cobra Kai. You can go to mcarolla.com. First show at Brea this weekend. Sunday sold out with Shatner, but still a couple tickets available to the Dennis Quaid. Second show, just go to mcarolla.com for all you need. Until next time, Adam Carolla for Dave Dameshek and Gina Grad and Marty Kove saying, and Mark Garagos saying, mahalo.
I mean, that says you can do that with the Rams rag.
Right.
You do that with the terrible towel.
Right.
Now, there's a whole nother can of worms you just opened for yourself. No.
Or whoop ass.
Cope holds up the terrible towel, and he says, the terrible towel is poised to strike. It's so hard to steal. Let's get him! He didn't say a goddamn thing about the Rams or anyone else. Come up with your own shtick.